Today, we're going on an incredible journey, deep underground and hundreds of millions of years into the past. We're going to uncover the origin stories of the two substances that power pretty much everything in our modern world, coal and petroleum. Just think about your day for a second. The fuel that got you around, the road you drove on, the plastic in your phone, your computer, your water bottle. It feels like it all comes from a million different places, right? But what if I told you it all started in the exact same place? An ancient world buried deep beneath our feet. That's right. The secret ingredient to our modern life isn't some special rock or mineral. It's ancient life itself. Plants and animals that have been compressed and cooked by unbelievable heat and pressure for eons. We're talking, of course, about fossil fuels. And yeah, when we say fossil fuel, we mean it. We are burning the actual fossilized remains of prehistoric life. It's concentrated energy stored for ages. So today, let's dig into the origin stories of the two heavyweights, coal and petroleum. All right, first up, coal. To really get this, we have to travel way back in time and imagine what Earth was like. Forget what you see outside your window. Think dense, lush, swampy forests covering everything. So picture this. It's about 300 million years ago. These massive, swampy forests are everywhere. As all these giant ferns and trees die, they fall into the muck. Then floods come and bury everything under layers of soil and sand. Over millions of years, more and more layers pile on top, creating an incredible amount of weight, just squeezing everything down. And as it all sinks deeper and deeper, the heat and pressure from the Earth's core essentially cook all that dead plant matter, slowly transforming it into the hard black rock we know as coal. This whole slow-motion, high-pressure cooking process actually has a scientific name, carbonization. It's a great way to think about it, actually. It's like nature took millions of years of sunlight captured by all those ancient plants and compressed it into a solid, burnable battery. But here's the wild part. Coal isn't just something we burn. No way. When we process it, it's like opening a treasure chest. We get something called coke, which is absolutely essential for making steel. We get coal tar, a thick black goo that's the starting point for things you would never ever guess, like perfumes, dyes, plastics, and roofing materials. And we even get coal gas, a powerful fuel for industry. Okay, so that's coal, born from the ancient swamps. Now for our second origin story, we're going to leave the forest behind and dive deep into the prehistoric oceans to find the source of petroleum. Right, so while coal came from huge plants on land, petroleum started with trillions of tiny organisms living in the sea. As these little creatures died, their bodies sank to the ocean floor and got buried under sand and clay. Now the next part sounds familiar. Millions of years, tons of heat, and immense pressure. But here's the critical difference. This all happened with no air around. And that key ingredient, the absence of air, is what transformed all that organic matter into crude oil and natural gas. And you know, the name itself is a dead giveaway. Petroleum actually comes from two Latin words, petra, meaning rock, and oleum, meaning oil. So it literally just means rock oil. Pretty fitting, huh? So how does this rock oil end up in these huge underground pockets we can drill into? Well, oil and gas are lighter than water. So over the eons, they slowly seeped upwards through any rock with tiny holes in it. But eventually, they'd hit a solid layer of rock they couldn't get through. That layer acted like a cap on a bottle, trapping the oil and gas in a reservoir, usually floating on top of a layer of ancient water that also got stuck down there. But, you know, just getting that crude oil out of the ground is only the beginning. To turn that black goo into the thousands of things we use, it has to go through a complex process called refining. Straight from the ground, crude petroleum is this dark, thick, kind of smelly liquid. It's not super useful like that. The real magic happens inside these massive industrial plants called refineries. That's where they take the raw crude and, through heating and separation, unlock the incredible range of materials hidden inside. And the results of refining are just astonishing. From a single barrel of crude, we get the fuels that run our lives. Petrol for cars, diesel for trucks, kerosene for jets. But that's just the start. We also get lubricating oil for engines, paraffin wax for candles and cosmetics, and even bitumen, the blacktop that makes our roads. It's an entire economy packed into one substance. But it goes even deeper than that. Many of these refined products are called petrochemicals. Think of them as the fundamental building blocks for our synthetic world. Detergents, fertilizers, synthetic fibers like polyester and nylon. And yes, Almost every single piece of plastic you see today started its life as a petrochemical. So when you stop and consider that enormous list of absolutely essential products, it makes total sense why petroleum earned the nickname Black Gold. Its commercial value is simply immense. So we've seen how these incredible resources were made and just how deeply we rely on them. But this brings us to a crucial and honestly a difficult part of the story, the simple fact that they are not going to last forever. You can really put all of nature's resources into two buckets. On one side, you have the inexhaustible ones, things like sunlight and air that we're not going to use up. But on the other side are the exhaustible resources, the ones where there's a limited supply. And coal and petroleum are firmly in that second bucket. There's only so much in the ground, and once it's gone for good. Let's just try to put this into perspective, because the timeline is almost impossible to comprehend. It took our planet hundreds of millions of years of slow, grinding geological processes to create the reserves of coal and oil we're using today. And at the rate we're burning through them, how long do we think they'll last? The known reserves, maybe a few hundred years. Think about that disconnect. Millions of years to create, a few centuries to consume. That staggering mismatch is the heart of the entire problem. And the problem isn't just that we're running out. There are hidden costs too. Burning these fuels is a major source of air pollution around the world. And of course, their use is directly linked to the warming of our planet. This adds a whole other layer of urgency to our dependence on them. So what can we do? Well, the huge, long-term solutions are about developing new technologies. But right now, making our current supply last longer is critical. The Petroleum Conservation Research Association has some simple, smart tips. Drive at a steady speed instead of speeding up and slamming the brakes. Switch your engine off at long traffic lights. Make sure your tire pressure is correct and your car gets regular maintenance. They seem like small things, but when millions of us do them, they make a massive difference. And that really brings us to the final big thought for today. Our entire civilization, everything we see around us, has been built on this finite inheritance, this incredible gift of buried energy from the deep past. We built our present on top of the past. The question this leaves all of us with is a profound one. What are we going to build our future on?